150 screenshots, or I'm sorry, photos a day. So it took quite a few, about a week to upload all these. So I'll have to go in there and tag everybody, so you guys can look yourselves up. It's if you've ever chatted in a Spreaker chat box and you're kind of around this circle, you're probably on there. So it's really funny. One of the reasons why I did do the screenshots, a lot of people like to delete their screenshots or pretend it's not them or it's a sock puppet. So I always tried to include it, and most of them were really either embarrassing, funny, or just they had something entertaining about them. That's why I took the screenshot, or words of wisdom or something like that. So don't take this so badly. I mean, it's funny. And I always retweet when someone takes a screenshot of me. Trust me, there's no shame on my end. I'll write some ridiculous stuff, and if you post it to my Twitter or send it to me, I'll retweet it, because in the end, a lot of these Spreaker people don't know. It's not always about their image. It's not always about their notions. It's about the audience. It's about entertaining the audience. And a lot of people lose sight about that. And so these huge egos on Spreaker, if you question them, they fall. They fall hard with the roaring drama. And it's pretty obvious. Everyone basically wears their chip on their shoulder, and everyone knows their weaknesses, which is evident after knowing anyone for a few years. And so the trolling and drama will always continue as long as you're so thin-skinned. And one of the things is about trolling is there really isn't much of a response if you don't react so stupidly. And that's really my only advice is, you know, don't react like an idiot. Another thing I noticed was about Debbie, since this is more of a Debbie segment, was that she said with seriousness on her show that the RD Unmasked show was about her. And everything seems to go over her head. The whole point of the RD parody show, which if you listened, it was so ridiculous, Debbie, that it was just a joke at RD. Like the whole Barco thing was a joke at Barco. And those parody shows are so ridiculous that if you don't get sarcasm, maybe you have the Spurgs or something, maybe you're an Aspie yourself, or but when I do a show about RD, Debbie, it's about RD. It's not about you. It's not always about you. Now, many times it is about you, but it's not always, and you need to figure that out. And I did my last two shows weren't had nothing drama attached to them. I just felt like reading some articles, reading some facts, stuff like that. And the first show I did, I should say my 2 shows ago, she wrote that I was obsessed. And she didn't even hit play, because if she would have hit play, she would have noticed there's no drama on that show. It's just news articles and stuff like that. So it was really funny. I was like, wow, she is just really into herself. And again, that's the enablers. Everyone she surrounds herself with, either want to bang her. And that's the thing. If you want to bang someone, you'll let a lot of shit slide. You'll let pretty much anything slide. Like that Steve Rush dude. Oh my god, it doesn't get more beta than that dude. I mean, it really does, and it's funny. Like, she could shoot him in the arm, and he'd be like, "It's okay, just tell me you love me," and you guys all know he would. That's and hey, if that's what you want, if you want to be in love with someone online and never really meet them and be that pathetic, that's on you, and that shows, because wherever you are, there's that special someone for you. And if you're just resorting to being in love with someone online and only online and never meeting them, and it's fucking sad, dude. It's really sad. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're fat or you're bald or you smell like ass. There's always someone out there. There's all these different dating sites. And for anyone to really struggle with that in 2015, it's ridiculous. I mean, you guys must have super low self-esteem. And wow. Another thing today is I noticed Kevin did a show. I guess it's an old show where he's talking about his ex-wife, and then in the comments he bitches about all these different people, and it's like, Kevin, you'll make all this effort, when people like say shit about you, that you go to all these great lengths, and the troll in me, Kevin, would be like, you go to all this great effort only when you get called out. But with the JFK thing, Kevin, like people gave you links, you didn't watch it, and you're like, oh, it's a government story, because that would require like work and watching stuff, taking notes, and I'll be honest with you, that the whole JFK thing, I mean, people gave you links and told, like Andrew and me, Aaron, we gave you stuff to read. You didn't read it. You didn't watch it because that would require work. But it's like once someone pushes you, Kevin, that's when you're like, oh, I'll do all this. Like your show today is the great proof. You wrote like 3 pages worth of stuff about these people that wronged you. And I wasn't even a person that wronged you, but it's easier for me to be an enemy, to be a friend. That's fine. That's on you. I've always been fair. I've always been approachable. But, you know, whatever, dude. If you want to live your fantasy life, that's on you. Hope it works out for you. That's really all I got to say. And one more thing is that Debbie said something about me mentioning her daughter and all this. I didn't mention her. Someone told me about some of your legal problems right now, Debbie, like some posts you wrote on Facebook. That's none of my business. I don't have this hate that you have for me, Debbie. You know, honestly, the worst I've ever done to you, Debbie, is show you where you could have been better, and now I'm the bad guy. I'm the prick. Maybe I am, but my whole message to you has always been you can be better. You don't have to act like a total asshole or ass clown, because you have a significant following, compared on Spreaker, I should say you do, and for you to act the ways you do sometimes, I think you're just better than that. And and I'm sorry you don't like some of the Spreaker screenshots, Debbie. And I wish you didn't block me on Twitter just because a lot of them have to do with you, because they're funny. You should be able to laugh at yourself, Debbie. And if you can't, you can't. Whatever. And that's fine. But I'll always continue to do these Spreaker screenshots. Admittedly, I really haven't been able to do many. I have probably 10 in the last 3 weeks. If anybody wants to submit any to me, get at me on Skype or Twitter, throw them up. I'll add them to this site that I'm talking about. And I'll also post the link in the show description. So, wow, there's a lot of just stupid shit on Spreaker. I mean, this, people, I mean, I don't know. You people are just too much. I mean, it is funny though. It is the way you guys act, the ridiculous lengths you guys go to prove your worth, and how you always have to be right and you're never wrong. I mean, you guys couldn't be. You guys never change, because if you keep acting the way you do, trolls will always troll you. And I think in some ways a lot of these people kind of like it because it gives them a reason to act wrong. Because then they get that negative attention. Because if you think about it, negative attention is better than no attention. It's like an armadillo. If you want to hit it on the head, the slap. It's happy because something's noticing it. It's not in the desert wandering around in circles. It got some sort of attention. So, and this is just another drama show. And again, I don't know where we go from here, but a lot of stupid shit happened. A lot of people acting the way they do. I had to call them out. So, hope you guys like this. Really nothing else to say at this point. So, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks.